All right, thank you all so much for coming tonight. Along with playing bass, I will be a bit of an MC tonight, guiding you through the evening. My name is Pat Lawrence, and it's just a pleasure to get to play with you all. If you didn't know, this is kind of a standing gig for the big band. We're going to do a few times a year, and it's on the Thursdays where there's an extra Thursday in the month. So come on out and keep seeing us. We really appreciate it. Along with being thrilled to be with the Yadkin Valley United Fund, we are also celebrating a 40th birthday of Josh Cass Stevens here on the guitar. Josh had requested to sit back here, as you may well know why, because we're putting him up front this time. So that song may not have needed any introduction. That was from the Family Guy cartoon series. And we are going to go on to a song that is probably the most famous action-packed series in the movies. Mission Impossible needs no introduction. As you all might have guessed, we have a theme this evening. Movie themes, soundtracks, TV shows. We're going to take you on a bit of a journey. This next one we're going to do is Angel Eyes. It's going to feature Bill Hardin on the saxophone, and it was written in 1946. And like a lot of the great jazz classics, it's from a movie most nobody's ever heard of. It's called Jennifer, but this is Angel Eyes for you. That was Bill Harden on the saxophone. I'd like to introduce you real quick. If you don't know Teresa Jasper, she is a local girl. She taught choir for a long time, award-winning, a voice instructor, and performed at Dollywood, of all places. But please give her a big hand. Every big band needs a great vocalist.
Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Love never made a fool of you. You used to be so wise. Hey there, you on that high flying cloud. Though he won't throw a crumb to you, you think someday he'll come to you. Better forget him. He's got his nose in the air. He'll have you dancing on a string, break it and he won't care. Won't you take his advice? I hand you like a mother. Or are you not seeing things too clear? Are you too much in love to hear? Is it all going in one ear and out the other? Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Love never made a fool of you. You used to be so wise. Hey there, you on that high flying cloud. Though he won't throw a crumb to you, you think someday he's gonna come to you. Oh, better forget him. He's got his nose in the air. He's got you dancing on a string. Break it and he won't care. Won't you take this advice I hand you like a mother? Or are you not seeing things too clear? Are you just too far gone to hear? Is it all going in one ear and out the other? At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. At last, the skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped in clover the night I looked at you. I found a dream that I can speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill I've never known. You smiled, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven, for you are mine at last. found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I can call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill I've never known. You smiled, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven, for you are mine at last, for you are mine at last.
That's Teresa Jasper, folks. Let me introduce you to some of the folks in this fine band. That was Bill Harden again on the sax, in the sax section, yes. On alto, we have Rick Jasper, Larry Irwin's next, Colin Whiteley, and Michael Barris. That's your sax section right there. And let me give a little more shout out back to the trumpets that had a nice shout section back there. That was Mike Weddington, Gavin Tranter, Tony Ferguson. You might have noticed Tony is from Statesville. And then there's Frances back there on the trumpet, hiding from the Statesville. Give her a hand. There you go. We're going to go on with something fun. I'm going to even defer. This song needs no introduction. We didn't really talk about how to set it up, and it would feel a little too, focused. What do you think of when you think of Mount Airy? Andy Griffith Show. From these parts, we all know it. We're going to do a little bit of that, aren't we not? And I think we're gonna whistle. And Michael's a medical professional down there, but he said I could invite people to whistle if they feel comfortable. So dive into it. How are we going to start this one, y'all? Yep. One, two, one, two, three. That might have been the best whistling audience I have ever heard at the Reeves. We're going to get a little more modern for you. Pharrell Williams wrote what would become probably one of the most popular songs of the 2000s. He wrote it in 2013. It's called Happy. And does anybody know what film that was in? And a little closer. No, it was Despicable Me 2. Very few great things happen in a sequel. But yes, it was Despicable Me, and this is Happy for you.
your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
Teresa Jasper, beautiful singing. Isn't it funny how a song that was from 1937, a lot closer to 100 years old, and songs just hold up so well. That was from the musical Babes in Arms. And I want to introduce this trombone section to you, and maybe raise your hands. Dave Hoffman's on first trombone. There he is. Clarice Sigsworth. Randy Tolbert, third trombone down there. And Katie Cachette on the bass trombone. Randy down there, we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. I am what they call a young pup in the group, as many of us are. And we know our place. Randy is an original member of the group, all the way back. Many of you know that Larry Irwin is also one of the original members of the group. He is not also only one of the original members. He could be what I would like to call our spirit animal. Larry is the spiritual force behind the group. He also is the one that makes sure we never forget words like foxtrot. And at the last rehearsal, he told Brian, he said, just start it the old way. And we all knew what that meant. And that's also Larry, one of the original members down there. Real briefly, a couple other things before we move on. I want to mention the hats. This is not something that always happens. The hats say how serious we take ourselves. And we all had a good time with it. I do want to point out, if anybody sees the name on my hat, if you can't see it, it says, I'm proud of this hat, it says Gap Civil, which is a wonderful old-time band from the region. Anybody know that band? I bought this hat at their merch table, and it launched many hats that my wife is very sad about. Hats just kept coming. Gap Civil is does anybody know where that name comes from? Yeah, Sparta. Gap Civil was the original name of Sparta, and there's a great story behind it. But if you're wondering, what is Gap Civil? We thought we'd get that out of the way right now. I want to pass it on down to Michael Barris down here to talk about one of our guests of honor right here, Josh Castevens.
You knew it was coming, man. You knew it was coming. So, part of the evening is really for the United Fund. That's why we're all here. But that it just coincidentally happened to fall on September 29th, which is Josh's birthday. Not only his birthday, but his 40th birthday. Yeah, a little sadness there. And so we give Josh a lot of credit in this group, not only because he's a monster guitar player and can read music, which is kind of like it's what we refer to in music as a mythical creature. But Josh also had a scary life event happen a few years ago, and we've all talked about how once he survived this thing, that for the rest of his life, Josh is going to have to hear about how he survived this thing. So he had a very scary experience happen to him, survived by the skin of his pants and through the skilled intervention of some vascular surgeons down at Wake Forest. So I think every birthday for him is probably a little bit more meaningful than it is for the rest of us. So we wanted to salute him tonight, and also in the spirit of kind of audience participation, since you guys did so well with whistling, we would be very pleased if you guys would join us in singing Happy Birthday to Josh. So Brian's going to start us off with a little flourish on piano on the downbeat. We're going to come in, and I expect most of you guys know this chart. Thanks a lot, guys. Did a great job. So, and to kind of segue into our next chart, which we're featuring music that comes from movie soundtracks, TV theme songs, with a couple of exceptions, which we'll get into later. The following chart was made famous by a group called Booker T and the MGs, and that any of you who can harken back to the 80s will probably remember it being deployed rather effectively in the Blues Brothers movie. So the reason we love this chart is because we get to let Josh rage for about 60 measures in the second half. Yeah, twice. We're going to do it twice. Remember, guitar player. He can read, he can rage, but still, he had to ask the question. So the following chart is a lot of fun, and it's entitled Green Onions.
Josh Cass Stevens. Now that we kind of got you in the rock and roll mood, we're going to stay there with a song that Carlos Santana wrote called Europa. Earth's Cry, Heaven Smiles is the parentheses. We're going to feature this fella down here, Colin Whiteley. Can you give him a big hand? As you may have noticed, that he is the youngest member of the group, and he is also the most reserved. No, he is not reserved. You see how much fun he has playing. He has brought a breath of fresh air, visually and musically, to our show, if you know what I mean. So that's Colin, y'all. All right, that's Colin Whiteley. We're going to take you in the other direction now to a classic song called Makin' Whoopee. Makin' Whoopee was made famous by Eddie Cantor, who I'm going to call the Pharrell Williams of his time, because he kind of was. And shockingly, I don't really know this movie, but it's from a movie just entitled Whoopee. So I don't know if that was as creative as they could have gotten, but like many songs, it's just a jazz standard. This is Makin' Whoopee. All right. That is Katie Cachette down there on that bass trombone feature. Katie makes it sound easy. Playing the bass trombone is not easy. I've tried it. It's extremely gifted that she plays that thing. Katie also, in her spare time, she's an Eastman grad. She repairs instruments, and she can be seen roller derby. Is that true? That she does a little roller derby. A lot of roller derby. And that was Mike Weddington on the trumpet back there, on that muted trumpet. All right, let's get our big bird on. What do you say? Let's count this one off.
Guys, if you can make it a little darker. Before I get into this next little dramatic flair of our show, I wanted to give a shout out to Gavin Tranter, if you'll raise your hand back there. Gavin has never played with this band. And thanks to the wisdom of the North Carolina High School Athletics Association, all the football games in North Carolina were moved to Thursday spontaneously because there was some kind of a storm, I think. So our lead trumpet player couldn't play because he's over there in Surrey County leading his troops on the field. So Gavin, thanks to Katie's great connection, decided just to show up, and he is sight reading this music for the first time. So one of the reasons that we chose doing a program of this nature tonight is because there's a lot of emotive connection between music and movies and TV shows. Not only does it make you feel a certain way, it often brings you back to a certain time of your life. And many of these types of charts can be very uplifting. It can engender positive feelings. But there's also the flip side, the darker side, where something will make you remember something that will bring chills to your bones, and that Pat Lawrence is going to give us a really good example of that right now.
And I will only say it's the hardest song in the bass repertoire. And when Michael asked me to perform it, I hesitantly said yes. It lasts a lot less longer than I've just spoken, but you will know it well. And I hope it brings back fond memories of being terrified in front of the television. We're going to go on to one of the most popular television shows of all time. I remember as a young child, the last show of this show's life was one of the strongest memories I had, and it's MASH. And we're going to feature Larry Irwin down here from the MASH theme song, Johnny Mandel.
this next song comes from a movie that's one of my personal favorites. It's a real tearjerker. And it's also some beach music, and doing it for Larry, because Larry loves beach music. And we're going to need your help on this, and I think you'll know when to come in. I do. Oh, the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof. And your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, on a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. From the park you hear happy sounds from the carousel. You can almost taste the hot dogs and french fries they sell. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, on a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Out of the sun, we'll be having some fun. People walking about, we'll be falling in love under the boardwalk. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, on a blanket with my baby, is where I'll be. Out of the sun, we'll be having some fun. People walking about, we'll be falling in love under the boardwalk. Well, thanks for helping.
We're going to close out this first half with an arrangement by our friend Rick Jasper down here on the alto saxophone. It's one of the most famous jump blues songs of all time, about one of the most famous roads of all time. Any guess to what it is? Route 66. With a good friend of mine recently said it's actually quite boring, but it makes a great song. Get out there, support your bartenders, support all the causes, and see us back in 10 minutes. Sorry, start me again.
If you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA. More than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City is mighty pretty. when you make that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66. Watch out now. Jasper. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, and Oklahoma City looks mighty pretty. See Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Heath, Barstow, San Bernardino. Won't you get hit this timely tip? When you make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Come on and get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66.
We'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Good, I can file it away. Pile's getting smaller. What time is it? How long was that first set? An hour and 10. It wasn't too bad. Hey, Larry, it's fun, isn't it? We're doing good, aren't we? I mean, good. A lot of fun. Great solo. You got the tone. How are you guys? I was hoping that he was going to get Gabby. I will. Yeah, do that. Well, I guess you have to throw the game.
that happens to me sometimes. It's called old age. Yeah. David. Yeah, sure. Solo sounded a little sloppy, but that's good. The best time to drink water. Jordan, there you go. There you go. Dr. Robert Hickman.
Hey, James, can you give me this? James, can you give me this one? All right, guys, we're gonna get cranked back up. So get your drink and grab a seat. I just want to make two small points. Number one is, if you notice that the only person who didn't leave the stage during our break was Colin, because he's 23 and his prostate is not yet the size of a guava fruit. Yeah. All right, the second thing is that at least two people came up to me during the halftime break and wanted to know who the piano player was. And his name is Brian Rector, and he's married. Lovely wife Justine. I don't know if Justine's here tonight. So anyhow, I'm going to hand it back to Pat after my little comedic break, and we'll get cruising.
We're going to get rolling on a song by Louis Prima, the great Louis Prima from 1937. Every time I hear this song, I always think to myself, rock and roll wasn't invented yet. But if there was anything rock and roll, it was this song, Sing, 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 which features Eric Sutpin on the drums over here. Let's kick off the second half. Yadkin on the drums. Moving on to a song called Cool, written by Leonard Bernstein from West Side Story.
This next song is a little bit of a naughty song, recorded by Nancy Wilson and Etta and a few others. Satin Doll.
Wakes me over his shoulder. He digs me out, counting my satin doll.
telephone numbers. Well, you know I'm doing my rumbas with you know, and then my satin dog, and then my satin dog. This next song is called More Than You Know, and it's a very intimate little setting between me and the rhythm section and our fabulous trumpet player, Mike Weddington. More than you know, more than you know, man of my heart, I love you so. Lately I find you're on my mind, more than you know. Whether you're right, whether you're wrong, man of my heart, I'll sing along. You know me so, more than you'll ever know. Loving you the way that I do, there's nothing I can do about it. Loving may be all you can give, but honey, I can't live without it. Oh, how I'd sigh, oh, how I'd cry, if you got tired and said goodbye. More than I'd show, more than you'll ever know. Loving you the way that I do, there's nothing I can do about it. Loving may be all you can give, but honey, I can't live without it. Oh, how I'd sigh, oh, how I'd cry, if you get tired and say goodbye. More than I'd show, more than you'll ever know. Thank you, Mike.
Here's a song that is by probably one of the finest American composers to ever live, and it's Paul Simon. And if you think about it, as time goes on, he will probably be remembered in the same way that all the Duke Ellingtons and those folks will be remembered. And early on in his career, he worked with a fella, and they did a song called Bridge Over Troubled Water. Would you welcome Teresa Jasper back to the stage?
Can I get a little bit more me in the monitor, please? Thanks. From James Bond, Skyfall. again, for this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment, so overdue I owe them. Swept away, I'm stolen. Skyfall is where we start, 1,000 miles and poles apart. When worlds collide and days are dark, you may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. Let the sky fall when it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together at skyfall. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. I know I'll never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in mine and we'll stand. Let the sky fall when it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together at skyfall. At Bill Hardin at the end with me. Thank you, Bill.
We're going to do a set of 3 just classic old TV / some turned into movie songs. We're going to start with Sanford and Son. We're going to do the theme from that. The Pink Panther. And we're going to do that happiest couple of all couples, The Odd Couple.
I'd like to sing for you this time, Over the Rainbow, from The Wizard of Oz. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane, darken up the skyway. There's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like Roman drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? Okay, we're going to do a dance tune, kind of a club tune for you next that my husband arranged. He and I used to do this a lot, but he's kind of souped it up. So I'm going to try to come in right. He'll point to me while he's playing the flute. 'neath the chase. A license to love, insurance to hold. Melts all your memories and change into gold. His eyes are like angels, his heart is cold. No need to ask, he's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago, west to Maine. Across the north and south to Key Largo, love for sale. Smooth operator. 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 With Jasper on the flute.
That's Teresa Jasper. We are so lucky to have her on board. On behalf of the entire Elkin Big Band, I want to thank you all for coming out. We have one more song for you. Come back and see us. One of the things we didn't tell you is tonight, for the first time ever, we have just live streamed this concert. So when you get home, it will be on Facebook. And the Yadkin Valley United Fund, they're looking to get the $200,000 mark. You can go home and share this video, put a tag in there, say, hey, we heard this great performance. You can take this performance, now share it with your friends, help them out. They are a volunteer group, and they 99.9 or 1% all goes to this community, and that's a rarity. So let's have a big hand for them. We have a YouTube page and a Facebook page. We've had a blast putting this show together of all these themes and musicals and things. I hope you had a good time. Go home knowing you've whistled better than any audience we've ever heard. And in our usual note, we're going to end with a very serious number from the Austin Powers Man of Mystery movie.
International Man of Mystery.
Exactly. That's right, international. Go home, share this performance with your friends, and thank you for coming.